What's up, guys? Welcome to the Crypto Savvy channel. I'm Craig, and we're going to be going over the charts as usual, looking at the Dow Jones, DXY, Bitcoin. Then towards the end of the video, we'll look at gold, silver, and oil. They're very old charts that have been playing out beautifully. One more thing I want to talk about in this video is we're going to talk about the bubble pop patterns, and we're going to take a look at how far down in normal bubble pop patterns before we get the bear market rally, which I believe is exactly what we're in right now, and I'll explain why. And we'll look at the invalidation points that we've had for well over a year. So anyways, let's get into it. Make sure you take a second out, smash those thumbs up, leave your comments down below. Yesterday I did a video and recorded the whole video in the morning. It was like a half hour long. I didn't have my mic on, and I was going to do another video, and then I just lost interest. That's very irritating, guys, when it takes a lot of effort to do these videos in the mornings, and when you do a whole video and you forget to put the mic on and you don't realize till it's all over, it is the ultimate irritation. So anyways, let's get into it. As you guys know, the Dow Jones, we've been talking about we'd have to break above this trend line before we see a big rally anywhere in any markets, including Bitcoin. And right now we can move that down a little bit. It's going to be around the 34,250 points. Anything above there, then we may see another rally. But like I've been talking about, guys, my target is still down here around 30,900 for the next real bounce. But I do believe we go much, much lower for the Dow Jones. As I've explained multiple times in multiple videos, well over a year, in a traditional bear market, Bitcoin will not have the strength to hold itself up. As much as people want to deny that and not believe that, Bitcoin's whole existence, right? The stock market was in a bull market, right? A massive bull market. Here was the creation of Bitcoin, right? Way over here. Bitcoin even went down 95% a few times, and 90% a few times in this whole bull rally, right? So what you guys know what happened right here. I'm not even going to mention that because YouTube doesn't like when you mention it. But guys, when this drops, when this bear market really gets accepted and people really believe it, by then it'll be too late. But when this happens, Bitcoin is not going to hold up, guys. Yeah. As you guys know, this is the DXY. This is the daily chart. We've been talking about getting support on this 55 EMA, which is exactly what it seems like we're doing. Last week, we talked about getting a rejection right here at the 200 EMA, which is also the 0.382 fib. But I told you, if we start wedging in here between the EMAs and that fib, once we get above this and make this support at 104.67, our next target's going to be 108.50. Well, let me put that back up there, right? Which is the 0.236 fib, and then ultimately getting back up here, breaking this high and continuing much, much higher. So if you zoom out on the daily, you can see this is not as bearish as people think, guys. They always talk about the dollar's dead, the dollar's dying. The dollar's not going nowhere. For one thing, people don't like to talk about, but Bitcoin depends on the internet, right? Without the internet, you don't have Bitcoin. There'll be people in the comments saying other stuff, or you don't need the internet, or blah, blah, blah. But guys, you need the internet for Bitcoin. But you have the same people saying that the internet is getting old and decaying and things are going to go bad. And then you got governments that can control what you do on the internet. So just keep that in mind when you think about Bitcoin, right? It depends on the internet. I'm not saying that Bitcoin can't succeed, right? Don't get me wrong. As a matter of fact, I think if you guys have watched my videos on the Amazon compared to Bitcoin bubble, I see there a chance of Bitcoin going extremely high, but I don't think it's going to be extremely fast. I think it's going to be a long, long time. Check out my 10-year plan on Bitcoin. You can look for my video in my YouTube channel. All right, let's go into, so this is the monthly. Remember, we were talking about this RSI divergence right here, hidden bearish divergence. As long as we close this monthly below 23,327, that confirms that hidden bearish divergence, right? we close above it, it invalidates it, and then maybe we do get another push up. And where would that be? If we did invalidate it and continue up, could be as high as 31.5 range, and that's just a measured move of this falling channel. We close back inside this channel in the monthly, and that's going to be extremely bearish. Now let's take a look at it on the weekly. Same thing, guys. We've been talking about the hidden bearish divergence on the weekly, and I told you if last week's close below 24,362, which it did, confirms this hidden bearish divergence right here. Now, looking at the yellow trend line, and we're back below that again, right? So it does seem to be confirming and continuing to confirm. And we even have, if you look at the white trend line here on the weekly, we've talked about this. You can see when we had higher high in the RSI here, lower high here, hidden bearish divergence, you can see what happened. Big dump. Same thing we're having right now, guys. It's lining up to be the same. I think we have a massive dump coming. It could be bad. Does that mean it happens today? No. Does that mean it happens tomorrow? No. This could take plenty of time. Nevertheless, everything is still playing out exactly as we'd expected. I'll leave a video at the end of this video for you to see where I was talking about this in December 2nd, 2021, right? If you guys are interested in trading, check out Prime XBT, by far my favorite exchange. They do support the channel. They do sponsor the channel. But you can trade Forex, gold, silver, oil, S&P, Dow Jones, all this stuff on one exchange without having to have multiple exchanges. Definitely check them out if you haven't. You can use my promo code Savvy50. It'll get you up to a $7,000 bonus. Savvy25 will get you 25% off your fees. I also have a link down below. Definitely check them out, guys. You can also trade for free in the contest section right here. You hit the contest section. There's free trading competitions, so you can get used to the platform without any risk, right? So let's take a look at what's going on here on the daily. So on the daily, in the very bullish case scenario, I know a lot of people are still very bullish. If you looked at this dotted trend line right here and the bottom trend line here, it looks like a falling wedge. Can you see that? I'll kind of draw it in there right here, right? So it looks like a falling wedge right there. The measured move of that in the very bullish case from the breakout down here would be around 31.5. That is a possibility. I don't think it's going to happen, but it doesn't matter what I think. We got to know that that is a possibility, although I think we're going much lower, right? And then if we take this falling channel in yellow here, we go from that breakout that also got us there, but we broke this trend line, came back below it and above it. So I'm not real confident in this trend line anymore, but I'm still going to leave it there because I'm sure we'll probably get bounces in these areas. So as of right now, the top of that trend line is around 22.4. If we start breaking below that 22, 1800, I think will be our next target area to watch. We'll go into the 4 hour after this and I'll show you. But as you guys know, even if this was the false bottom that we've been waiting for all year, which I don't think it was, I still think the false bottom will be sometime, I've always said February or March. So we still have all of March to get our lower low for the false bottom, then another rally, and the true bottom being September, October. So we'll probably still see another big rally, even if we see a lower low here, and everyone will get super bullish and everyone will be calling the bottom again, just like they did all the way down, guys. Let's just track this. This is from back in November 2021. They called the bottom here, got a rally. And I told you guys, if you watch my video from all the, I made these videos the same from December 2nd, right? Told you there'd be bear market rallies. Everyone would get bullish only to make new lower lows. And then you'd get a rally. And if you look back at everyone's videos except mine, on each one of these pumps, they were calling the bottom. Each one of these pumps, they were calling the bottom. And then what did we do? Just make a new lower low. Same thing here. Same thing here. All the way along. And all we've done here is got everyone bullish again, come down. 25.8 has been my invalidation point for the Amazon compared to Bitcoin chart because that is the 55 EMA. I think the 55 EMA is extremely important here. Before we go to this 4 hour, in the comment section below, first off, don't forget, smash the thumbs up. But in the comment section below, leave the charts out of it. Although you guys know, I think, show me the charts, I'll tell you the news. But just, I know a lot of people from a lot of different regions watch this channel. So I'm just curious, In a few words, you know, or longer, you can do as long as you want or just short. I just like to know your view of the world and the situations going on in the world, because I know a lot of people get a lot of different views from a lot of different regions. I'm curious to see your guys' views, and I don't want to see people arguing about their views. I just want to kind of get a view of everyone's viewpoint of what's going on in the world right now. Like, is it, you know, are you seeing it as a bad thing, as a good thing? Who do you see at fault? Who do you think is the bad guy, the good guy? Like I said, no wrong answers. Just curious to see what you guys got to say. All right, back to the charts. So this is the 4 hour. As you can see, we've got a lot going on right here. I just cleaned up the chart to make it easier to see, right? So let's take a look at this. If you look at it in the 4 hour, 4 hour close, according to this, if you go off of these lows, would be hidden bearish or hidden bullish divergence, saying we can get a pump up, but that might have been just to retest this trend line. So let's look at the bigger formation, right? The rising broadening wedge right here in blue first. Now, by looking at that, if we break that 25.8, which has been the same invalidation point, if we break that, we'd be looking for around 29.9 as the target, depending on if, when, and where it broke. So the longer it would take to break that top trend line, the higher it would go, right? But this would be within the next few days, that 25.8, if we break that, 29.9 would be the area to look for. But if we broke down past the 21.8, and we'll go into, you know, zoom in a little bit, but just showing you in the big picture, this could be a great trade opportunity at a break of either the top or the bottom, right? 21.8-ish. And again, the longer it takes, the higher that price gets to break. But once we break that, then the measured move is going to be around 18,000, right? And if you put a trend line on this 4 hour RSI down here, we broke the trend, right? May get a rally up to retest this trend line on the 4 hour, which would be back up here again. But now let's take a look at the smaller formation and see what's going on down here, right? So if we go off of these touches here, they were alternate touches. You had a touch at the top, touch at the bottom, touch at the top, touch at the bottom, and we've broken down from there. So if this is wrong, it could be moved like this, right? And we still have a little bit to go. But if we go off of these wicks here, we came back up, retested it. So what's the measured move of that break? That gets us down to about 22,200, 22,300, right in that range, right? But we do have some support here off of these wicks. I'll show you where that is. So look for a possible bounce. I got something really interesting to show you guys in the bubble pop bear market rally patterns, right? But this would be the first area around 23.1 to 23. Look for a bounce in this area. But once this 23 breaks, like I said, look for 22.2, 22.3, somewhere in that range. If we break this bottom blue trend line around 21.8. Now, what this will probably look like, obviously, I don't know for a fact, but what this will probably look like is, and I'll leave this on and see kind of what's happening. I'll keep moving it out of the way throughout the week. But we may get a bounce in this area, right? Bounce on this for a little while, come in here. Get our bounce to that 22.8 range and maybe come around, test that top trend line again. Once this breaks, I think it'll be pretty big. So that could be, you know, get us into March, but come down to break into new lows, I do believe, in March. But remember, our main targets here are going to be around the 18,000, but it could end up looking something like this. Again, guys, this is a 4 hour. It doesn't happen in 5 seconds, right? This takes time. So if it was to play out like this, not saying it's going to look exactly like that, but that would be from today, almost 3 weeks to get to that point, right? So just kind of give you how the timing works in these markets. But usually once you break these support levels, it'll drop pretty quick, right? Same with if it breaks resistance levels, it'll pump pretty quick. So this is the .com bubble. This is Amazon on the left and Bitcoin on the right. As you guys know, there's that 55 EMA. We've talked about it since December 2nd. That would be the invalidation point of this chart, right? And I told you guys, this will, you'll get a dump. You get pumps. Everyone gets bullish to make, and then you go make a lower low. Then they wish they would have sold up here. You can go back and watch all my videos. All of last year, I talked about it, explained it, showed you guys how this stuff worked, and it's exactly what's playing out. And they're not going to look the exact same, but we are going to go into a couple more. Let's look at this real quick. So Amazon. So once it hit its false bottom, right? Let's take a measurement there. Let's go from this top to the false bottom down here. That was 93% was its false bottom, but it's rallied to right here, which was like another one, 83%, right? Let's look at Bitcoin, where it hit its bottom right here, which I think could be the false bottom, but I still don't think we are at the false bottom yet. But if so, that was around 77%. Now, this is what I want to talk about. Same type patterns, guys. Bubble pop, right? You can see what happened here. Same thing. We had a rally here. This one did get above the 55, but so I mean, it's not like it's impossible. But that's going to be an invalidation point where I might start considering the bottom is in if we break that 25.8 range, right? It's actually lower than that if you look where the 55 EMA is, but that's where I'm going to keep it because even if it, you know, we kept bouncing around up here, this would curve up. So 25.8 is still my range there, even though the 55 is really at about 25.550. But 25.8 still remains the 55 EMA, you guys, is. I'd have to see a weekly open and close above that to be bullish. But okay, let's take a look at this. Where was this? See, there was still a false bottom down here before the very end of this. So let's see where this was, right? What was the percentage of that one? Remember, Bitcoin is 77% before its bear market rally. See, before this bear market rally, how low that went. 72%, right? What was Bitcoin? Remember? 77%. I mean, all this stuff lines up. Even Sony. Here's a Sony bubble pop. You had plenty of false bottoms in here, right? Just looks like this is where we're at. Even in Sony, we got above the 55 EMA, but our 200 EMA was above that. Let's see where Sony was from the top to the bottom there. At false bottom. 79%. So we are right in that range, you know, to have this bear market rally before coming crashing down. So let's look at gold. As you guys know, this chart, this gold chart is very old. If we break this median line here, it's very bad news for gold. But let's go into our daily chart and look at, so this chart is about a year and a half, maybe 2 years old now, but we are looking for an ABC here, which if it happens, that would get us down to this 1550 range. But remember, if that breaks, our next target's 1400. If that breaks, it gets pretty ugly for gold. So nothing's changed there, guys. I've had the same chart forever. So the green line here would be that ABC. If it was an ABC, it would be bullish once we get to this 1550 range and then to the moon, right? But if this is actually just a 5-wave structure coming down here from B, this could get very, very ugly, right? Silver, same thing, guys. These targets are very old. My main target's around 1560, $15.60. We made this chart back in July of 21. Actually, it was June or July of 21. But we had these targets still sitting here waiting for the 1562. If that breaks, it could get much, much worse, right? And just take a look at what's going on in the world, guys, if you don't think it can happen. All right, here is our oil chart. Same thing. We came up, got a rejection where we expected back here in November 22 when everything else topped out, right? And my target's been 62.54 ever since we broke this $89 range, right? 62.50. If that breaks, I see us going as low as like 27 bucks. People say that can't happen. Guys, remember, these are markets with big boys playing in them. It went to negative 40 back here. So just be careful out there, guys. I hope everyone has a great day. I'm going to check on the house now. I'll post some stuff on my Twitter. If you don't follow me on Twitter, I'll leave a link down below. But I'll be posting what's going on with the drywall. Once I get over there, I'll make a little video. And I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Don't forget to smash the like, subscribe to the channel if you want daily updates, and check out these videos above. Prime XBT tutorial and December 2nd, 2021, when I talked about all this happening, I explained it. If you listen, I told you there would be pumps along the way where everyone would get super bullish. Look what's happening. Be careful, guys. I'm out.